This is a really cool thing Duncan posted on my server and everywhere else too. It is a thread that George Balhan did on Instagram the 2 days before World Finals 20 is about to begin, which was last night. And I wanted to read it with you all. And of course, this is a picture that he posted in his thread too, which is him with Joe Lowe. I think it's at World Finals 6 because I was there and I do remember him being under a canopy that year and with a chopper right there. So here is what he said. With the finals only a few days away, I thought I'd post this and give my opinion on a few things. This was my first time as a competitor in the event, so me and my crew chief thought we'd go all out. See, back then nobody had canopies or tables or even chairs. We did 5-hour pit parties, slowly walking around the truck trying to stay in the shade. Our bosses gave us pretty much a free pass to do what we wanted to stand out. This was the point of this truck. Over the top from the norm of all things. So we got a couch, a canopy, TVs, and a stereo, and a matching chopper. It truly made my display a party. Believe me, I caught hell from all the other guys and girls sticking out in the Vegas sun. But I feel it helped speed up the changes that were made for all the drivers. Sam Boyd Stadium was full of so much history from this event, and I feel like the move to Orlando was a huge mistake in so many ways. The largest, of course, is the tradition of the event. Now, my personal opinion is the move was made because of money, no matter how much they try to spin it for the fans. You can find cheap flights from anywhere to Vegas, as well as endless supply of cheap hotels or Airbnbs, whatever that means. So why the move? Well, that's what I feel is the million-dollar question here. Orlando holds 65,000 seats. Vegas holds 40,000. Now, that's not including safety holds, so let's just say there's a 17,000 seat difference. And also, let's say $200 a ticket, not including what each one of those would buy in merchandise. There is a $3.4 million difference on one event. There's no way the track would be as cool. The excitement the crowd got waiting in anticipation for two trucks to come roaring onto the floor from Thunder Alley won't be matched anywhere, nor will the pit party layout or the parade be. On to driver selection. It used to be an honor to get chosen to drive, along with events. The event sales department went above and beyond to secure us drivers with a bunch of cool gifts from all of our sponsors, which now have also been stopped. Unfortunately, now it's just a popularity contest with some of the best drivers being left out this year. I guess the millions are worth it. It's a shame that it comes down to at the best fans' expense. That was awesome, George. Awesome! And also, Mikey Jr. also agreed with him too. And the thread, even Monster Truck Throwdown agreed to and threw shade at Monster Truck. It was really cool. I'll post a link to the Instagram thread in the description in the comments if you all want to read it too. Now let's get into it again as I'm reading it live right now as I gotta get back to it. Talking about walking around the track. Yeah, remember back then they did not do canopies and stuff back then for World Finals. I was at World Finals 4, 5, 7, 8. Back then, they didn't. You had to deal with it. And World Finals 5 was the worst because it was like 110 degrees, that pit party. World Finals 5 was not hot at all because remember, that was the year it rained. And I was there for Double Down in the pit party. It wasn't hot at all in World Finals. And both nights, both days were cloudy, so it wasn't hot, so I don't know exactly what he was necessarily talking about. Maybe he just doesn't remember, maybe he's thinking of a different year. Yeah, that was cool, because back then they did not do canopies, and I'm sure they do canopies now from the last bunch of World Finals to deal with the heat. And yeah, we all know damn well it was a money decision, too, to pick Orlando. Because Raiders Stadium is not made till 2020. So, they could have easily done World Finals 20 in Sam Boyd. They could have done World Finals 21 next year in Sam Boyd as well. And then, depending on what happens with Sam Boyd, they might have been able to do it with World Finals 22 in Sam Boyd in 2021 as well. We don't know yet what's going to happen with Sam Boyd Stadium, just like we don't know the dimensions yet of Raiders Stadium as it's being built. For all we know, and this I checked this up the other day too when someone talked about Sam Boyd. It's still up in the air what's going to happen with it. Like, everyone keeps saying, oh, it's going to be destroyed in 2020. If anyone says this, ask them for a very good source on that. And if they don't believe them. Because everywhere I've looked on it, still has no idea what's going to happen yet. In fact, all the links I find still talk about the Raiders possibly buying Sam Boyd Stadium and using it as a practice facility. So, until we have confirmation from the owners of Sam Boyd, let's wait and find out. And just like Feld, they could have done the next 2, possibly 3 World Finals in Sam Boyd, and then wait and see. Maybe Sam Boyd would stay, and if it stays, why not do it there as long as possible? And who knows, Raiders Stadium could support Vegas-style racing. And if not, there was other stadiums too that could possibly support it. There are other places that were much better than Orlando to do that. And also, Orlando could have done Vegas-style right if they, left it in the stadium instead of driving on top of the stadium, which, by the way, cost a whole bunch of money and lost seat sales that they could have had. But, of course, that's thinking logically, which Feld never does. And then, of course, I found out they're charging an arm and a nickel for the World Finals. The tickets are ridiculous. It's costing $100 to attend the pit party, for God's sake. Are you serious? Fuck, like 5 years ago even, the pit party was part of the ticket package, so you didn't have to pay anything extra. Oh my God, how cheap has Feld gotten these last bunch of years? It is incredible. Oh my God. Now, however, there are 2 things I don't agree with him in this thing. First off, about it being cheap to go out in Vegas. Not really. As someone who's been out there 4 times from Maryland, trust me, air travel, accommodations, it's not cheap. And likewise, too, it would not be cheap for me to go down to Orlando if I wanted to attend World Finals 20. So anyone saying it's cheap down there are also full of shit, like Josh and them have said before. Attending the World Finals when you're like halfway on the other side of the country is never going to be cheap, no matter where it's at. Anyone says otherwise is either stupid or lying to you. And then the thing about the invites to the World Finals, George, it really has never honestly been really, truly deserved for all of World Finals history. The only times it was like really, truly deserved was like 2000 to 2003 when they actually had a point standings. But even then, I believe it was for like the first 2 World Finals, only 10 of the top trucks in the point stands got into the World Finals, and then the 6 rest were chosen by the fans. So even that was not really honestly deserved. We need to have an actual point system that applies to all the events and not all these stupid tours and crap with all their different shit that they do. We need to have a point stands that applies to all the events, and whoever has the top 32, yes, 32 trucks, not 24, which, by the way, they could have had 32 trucks there, and you know that. For the top 32 drivers with the point stands, they should be in the World Finals. That's the end of it. No invitations, no corporate sponsorships, none of that shit. You want to the World Finals? You gotta earn it. Just like every other sports league, you have to earn it to make it to the playoffs or the championship. So, other than that, this was an awesome post George Balhan posted. It was great, and I hope you all enjoy it and get a read on it too, because it is just perfect.